Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for always coming back and watching my YouTube. If you're here for the first time, warm welcome. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and leave comment down below. I really appreciate it. And if you are here regular, please warm welcome. Thank you very much for always coming back and watching my video. And today I'm going to speak how to recognize a possible relapse. How to recognize a possible relapse. So, relapse from drugs and alcohol. So this topic today come out from a question. Most of my topics that I share on my YouTube channel are the question that people are asking. Let me just quickly introduce myself. Once again, my name is Jerry Mbweni. I went from being a homeless bag and heroin addict. I was addicted to heroin for 11 years of my life, and the last 1.5 year of my addiction, I live in the street as a berry. I'm currently 17 years clean, praise God, going to 17 years clean, praise God. I'm married, I'm a productive member of society, I'm certified life coach and NLP practitioner. I'm also author of a book called 11:59:59 and X-Junk Last Minute Victory. I'm also a public speaker, fitness trainer, wellness coach. And yeah, so that's who I am and what I do. And let's go quickly to today's topic. So today's topic, how do I recognize a possible relapse? Okay, so this question was asked by one family member who was living with somebody who is addicted on drugs. Okay, this particular family member give me a call and say, Jerry, because I'm also a drug counselor, sorry I forgot to share that. I'm also a drug counselor, and he said to me, right, Jerry, look, tell me, how will I notice? Okay, and he said, I was one day listening to you and you say that people started to relapse on their behavior first. So how will I notice that my loved one might relapse? So here's the things that you need to look out, okay? So that you can understand it, like the person that you live to, or even yourself, that you can understand, maybe I'm going towards where a relapse might be possible. So quickly, let me give it to you. Number one is when you start to isolate yourself. So you come out of a treatment, or you're on a treatment, whether it's outpatient, whether is inpatient, and then you are together with family, doing things with the family around you and the people who are not smoking. All of a sudden you start to isolate yourself. You start going to those social events, for example, church, if you're going to mosque, whatever it is, some people start stopping going to the meetings, the support group meeting. You start to isolate yourself. So once you start to isolate yourself, that is a alarm bell to you that this particular person, there might be an alarm bell that this particular person might be relapsed. And number two is dishonest. When you started to lie, okay? When you start to lie to yourself, first and foremost. So this is for yourself. If you want to check the possible relapse for yourself, is that when you start to lie to yourself, when you start to convince yourself what you're doing is right while it's wrong. So for example, let me give you an example. You have, yesterday I was talking with somebody, say, for example, you have a 50 rand in your pocket, and you know this money is for you for taxi fare tomorrow to travel to work, and you decided, say, I'm going to use this money to smoke and then I can work. You're not honest with yourself. You are struggling inside. You don't tell anybody. You start to be honest. And the family member, if you want to see, when you start catching these people, I start to be dishonest. For example, they will say, whether it's your child or whatever it is, they say, I was by my friend John. Then later on you find, he was actually by their friend James. So they were not dishonest. That must be a really, really alarm bell, because addiction like to work on a secrecy and dishonest. So when you start to dishonest, you are going back to that behavior that puts you into addiction. Remember, we first relapse on our behavior before we pick drugs itself. So dishonest is one of the behavior that we engage while we're in addict. So when we clean and we get into become dishonest, we reverse ourselves to wanted to pick the drugs. Number three, something that you need to watch out, and that could be possible for you, is when you start to have anxiety. Okay, when you start to have this fear and anxiety of future, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what to do. You start, just when you start having anxiety, and so for example, if your loved one, when you start communicate to you and say, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it, start having anxiety. Those feeling of anxiety for someone who is in recovery is not good, and because those feeling, we don't like him, they distress us. So what does we wanted to do? The next thing we want to pick. So those are the things that you need to look it out. And number 4 is the irritable. When people start to become very, very irritated, small little thing, they irritated, they want to fight. Small little thing, somebody put a bag where it is, they're just irritated. You can notice that this person actually is got this anxiety, or he started to have this irritation in the house. Then you know you must really, really start to work, because these are all the result of us when we were addicts. When we want to smoke drugs, these are the feelings and emotion that contribute for us to want it to use over and over. So once we start to engage again and we don't want in our thinking, and guess what we want to do? We want to pick drugs again. So remember, if you are listening to yourself, or if you are close to your loved one, you can always start picking this behavior, and this should be alarm bell. And you should quickly speak to your sponsor or your mentor in recovery. You should have everybody. I suggest, if you're in recovery, you have to have a sponsor to help you. And number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last one is self-centered. Okay. Once you start to become a self-centered, in other words, once you become everything is about you, because these are all started to link to each other. Irritable, and also self-centered. You start to become self-centered. All things is about you, and you start fighting when things they are not going about yourself. Let me give you another example. Yesterday, I was sharing a group of people who are in recovery on one of the centers that I visited. So we were sitting there, and they were waiting for the people, and one particular person, a guy, and said, you know what, these people who they know they need to be here in certain time, and they are not here, and then they actually irritate me. And I said to this particular person, look here, no one is wasting your time. We cannot stop them. They know they need to be here. We don't know what happened to them on the road. We're not God, but I promise you, as a facilitator, I'm gonna finish at the time that I say I'm finished, so that I can own your time that you'll be here. You don't have to be upset for what other people they are doing. And this person was very self-centered, was very, very self-centered. And I say, you must watch this kind of behavior, because he was very upset, and she was very irritable for the behavior of other people. You cannot control other people. You can only control you. So self-centered, and also you must also watch this kind of behavior. When they start to pull it up, you must nip it on the butt before they become very wet. So quickly, how to recognize a possible relapse. Number 1, isolation, guys. When you see people isolate themselves, alarm bell must go up. Dishonest is also one of the, number 2. And number 3 is anxiety. 4, irritable people, they start to become irritated with small little things. And number 5, self-centered. Thank you very much for listening to my YouTube channel. I hope this video has helped you guys. If this video helped you, please give this video a like or share to the other people. Drop a comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for your support. God bless you. Bye for now.